Hello everybody, my name is Taylor. I'm one of the audiologists here at Audiology Associates. Just myself today. Sorry, Reese is in a different clinic, so you're going to be seeing just myself for the next couple of videos. A little bit of a treat for you. I am a little bit croaky as well today, so you'll have to bear with me, sorry. But this is just my patient on this video. Only one patient for the whole thing. So I had this young gent come through to me last week, understandably feeling very, very blocked up looking inside here. This is the first time this patient's had wax removal. So we've got basically both ears completely full of this really sort of solid kind of bit of a mixture of wax and skin here. So you can see I've already managed to loosen it off the ear canal slightly, but there's no give. I'm struggling to get a grip with the suction. So what we got here is the Curette. I'm just trying to create a little bit of a gap somewhere. I'm just trying to see if I can just at least break some of this away so that I have a little bit more space to maneuver this piece of wax around. Because what I think this is doing, I think this plug of wax is all stuck down in the recess just in front of the eardrum, which almost kind of acts like a hook in some ways, just kind of holds on, stops you from pulling it out. So we're just gently trying to roll it from the top, because sometimes you'll find that will pull it out of the recess. Now you can see it's pretty solid, it's not really going anywhere this. Going back with the suction now. Now that I've kind of repositioned it a little bit, we've got a little bit more of a flat surface now to get a grip with the suction. Because the trouble we get, and I know a lot of you have, are regular viewers, and I know you already, hear us kind of banging on about it, repeating ourselves quite a lot. But with really dry wax like this, it's really difficult to get a grip on those really thin edges. So what we try and do is you'll see us sometimes trying to reposition the wax so that we get a better grip on a more flat surface. So you can see there now, that's almost kind of spun itself around a little bit. So we've got a little bit more of a ledge to grip onto now. And you can see what I'm trying to do is hold the Zollner suction tube onto the wax to try and build that pressure up. Because that can get again, it can give us a better pull. You can see just how much is there. It's really, really sort of occluded in this ear. It's really, really full. Just trying to give it a little bit of a wiggle, but it just doesn't seem to be moving. It can be really frustrating ones as well, because you've only got to move that little tiny bit, and you lose that suction grip. And we because it's so long, the natural shape of the majority of people's ear canals is like an elongated S. So it kind of goes around one way and then it comes back the other way. But when you get one long piece of wax like this, you've got to try and maneuver it around those bends, which is not quite as easy in some cases, which is one of the reasons why this has probably taken me so long. And fair play, the patient sat through the whole thing like a trooper. You took it really well, to be fair. So again, we're just trying to just nip in over the top now, because we've pulled it forwards a little bit. I've got to be really careful not to push this in any further and just kind of undo all the work we've just done. So I've got the Rosen inserter now, which is a very thin, well, you can see it's a very, very thin kind of hook. And in some cases, like with this type of wax, you do sometimes get a little bit lucky where you can get that little hook into the wax and you get a much better grip, and you can actually pull the wax, or it's really good for foreign bodies as well. But the problem is it's so thin, it just does that. It just kind of shears this little trench through the center. Which in some cases is a good thing, because it means you're kind of breaking this wax up a little bit. So at least you might be able to get pieces out rather than the whole thing, which, is better than nothing. So we did create a little gap above, which is what we're just going into now. Go a little bit further, roll forwards, and again drop back behind, roll forwards, There we go. Look at the size on that. Well, we got the hook now. Oh, I didn't hold it. I know I keep saying I need to be better with my my shots on the wax. Sorry, we've got a really big plug out there. Patient was really keen on seeing what came out, so that's essentially why I've pulled it out very quickly. Excuse me, sorry. But we've got exactly the same on this side. Now we've broken a little bit away from the entrance here, and it's this deeper plug here, which again is causing all the problem. So we're going to do the same thing as the other side. We're going to try and unstick it from the ear canal first, which if the patient has used oil, a lot of the time what you'll find is as you unstick it, if there's any loose oil in there, whether it's oil that we've put in or what the patient's put in, it starts to seep underneath that gap as we've loosened it off the ear canal. So that's what we're doing now. We've managed to peel some of that away. And I'm just trying to give this a little bit of a wiggle now, just to see how mobile it is. It looks like a piece of wax that could come out really, really easy, so, which is what makes it so frustrating, because we don't normally have any problems with these ones. They usually come out really easy. They're doing the same thing, just trying to hold that grip, trying to build the suction up. So I popped a bit of oil in here now. You can see me just mopping up the excess at the entrance. Haven't put too much in. I've just popped 1 or 2 little squirts in, just again to try and seep underneath. It almost kind of acts like a lubricant for the ear canal. When these little movements here now is going to start allowing that oil to seep underneath, and in most cases it just slips out a lot easier. But again, I'm still struggling to get that grip. And you can tell the wax has been in there for quite a while as well, so it's a pretty dark colour. So it's wax in a way is kind of similar to when you cut an apple in half. So you've got the wax, you've got the apple where it'll have that nice white sort of colour when you cut it fresh, and then if you leave it out for a little while, it kind of oxidizes and it goes like a horrible brown colour. It's similar with wax, not that quickly, but over the space of years, the wax in the ear canal kind of does the same thing. Goes from like an orangey light brown colour to, in some cases, to almost a black, which is, again, a good sign that it's been in there a long while. Excuse me, sorry. I'm gonna be croaking like this for a little while. Sorry. It's that kind of season now. We're going from one temperature to another. You can see just how much is there. Like there's a little ring right at the back end of that wax underneath. You can see there's almost like a little ring of dead skin where this has been stuck. And I think that is what we're having difficulty moving here, or what we're having difficulty sort of detaching. So I've got the Rosen inserted again now, in a hope again, like the other side, that we can get that tip into the front of the wax. Just give it a little pull. It's kind of moved it a little bit, but it's not doing what I want it to do. So we're going to drop in a little bit further. What I wanted to do is just sort of slide down the ear canal. Oh, I thought it was going then. Thought it was going. Oh, this one is full. I honestly thought this was going to be the easier of the two sides to clear. So this is the rye hook now, I believe. Bit of oil on the camera. Again, one of the downsides of using oil, kind of sticks to all those little hairs. So anytime you start getting closer to the wax, it rubs up against the surface of the camera and it just does not clear. And it goes really muffly, really blurry, sorry, not muffly, that's hearing. So we've got the standard size on the tube again now. Now that we've popped the Rosen inserter in and we've created some little gaps in the wax, so we've broken little bits away. I'm kind of hoping there's going to be now a flat surface that we can grip onto. You can see there's a little bit of wax is trying to pull up towards the suction. Right, we're going to try and hold this grip now. Little bit of a wiggle. You can see it's coming. It's coming. Oh. A little bit of wax in front of the camera there, but I've got a good grip, so I don't want to let it go. Again, similar to what we explained with the other ear, you've got those bends in the ear canal, which is what I'm trying to maneuver, as well as trying to pull this out of the recess where this is kind of stuck. Going back to the right curette. Whoa, again, trying to... It's such a fine margin, that little gap between the wax and the ear canal. If the wax is soft enough at those edges, you tend to get really lucky with the curettage. It tends to slip through quite nicely, and then you're able to just bring that around the ear canal. So the whole thing usually slips out quite nicely. But I've switched over to the hook here now, just to try and bring down that top portion of the wax. It's not really doing what I want it to, though. It's a bit of a tricky one, this. It kind of gets to a point in our appointments where, you know, if something like this is happening and we're going back and forth, and we're not really getting anywhere, what we'll basically advise the patient is to come back for a follow-up appointment. We'd advise some drops, or may possibly a different type of drop to what they've already been using, just to try and break up this harder type of wax, because it's just pointless kind of fighting back and forth. You could be there for ages and not get anywhere. So we did start getting a bit of movement. I was kind of umming and ahhing whether to actually get this patient back for this side, but it is coming. We've started to get it detached. Those little white sort of cloudy patches you can see, and that thick portion you can see towards the back, that's the dead skin that was holding this plug in place. Doesn't look like a massive amount, so we've got, what's that, 2.5 centimeters. So yeah, it's not a massive amount, but it's the position of where those plugs of wax were stuck. Thanks for coping with me today, guys. We'll see you on the next video now. Again, you're going to see myself solo for the next couple of videos. Reese will be back. He's just at a different clinic today, and I've actually had a bit of time to voice him over. So kind of doing Reese a little bit of a favour, you know, getting some of these done for him. So don't forget, if you do like these videos, I should have done this earlier in the video, but like, heart, share, follow and subscribe, all the usual bits and pieces, and we shall see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.